Everybody, welcome to Mat with No Props. The only prop I'm going to ask you to have is a water bottle or some vessel for hydration. So I'm going to remind you along the way today, it's winter time, got to stay hydrated. We're exercising, we're doing all sorts of stuff. Keep your skin, your body happy. So with that, let's go ahead, head over to the mat. Alrighty, we're just going to start today lying on our backs. Just finding our breath, finding our centers, finding our 3 contact points that we always start with. So tailbone, upper back, and the back of the head, right at the base of the skull. So we're finding awareness of those 3 points on the mat as we breathe in and out. Nice big breaths, not worrying about the ribs, not worrying about where your breath is going, just filling up your lungs as much as you can and then exhaling every last little bit of air out. So we'll do 5 really big breaths. And for this last breath, as you breathe out, I want you to use those stomach and core muscles to help you exhale that air out. And then keep that core engagement as soon as we've let the air out and begin regular breathing. So last one. And just feel your core engage. Nice light engagement. You can even place your hands right between your belly button and your pubic bone, just to remind yourself of your alignment and feel that engagement. From here, we're just going to actually shift on the mat. So before we even start into the pelvic rock, we're going to play with our feet on the mat. So you're going to make sure that your feet are nice and planted, and you're going to press into the mat, which is going to lengthen you away from your feet. And then pull the mat towards your heels, which is going to bring your shoulders and your torso closer to your feet. And press away and pull towards, keeping that core engagement. Press away and pull towards, and pressing away. Feeling really long in the back of the neck. Pulling towards, feeling that core engagement to keep your alignment here. One more, pressing away. And then back to that neutral place with the 3 contact points. From here, we'll start into our pelvic rock. So exhaling, rocking the pelvis towards your belly button. Inhaling, rocking towards the tailbone. And belly button. Tailbone. Belly button. Tailbone, inhale. And exhale. And inhale. Keep going on your own timing. The difference here, well, the main difference between this and the exercise we just did with our feet is our belly muscles are doing the work here. Our core muscles are doing the work. And our feet, you could really just lift off the ground. So rocking towards the belly button and towards the tailbone and towards the belly button and towards the tailbone. And then towards the belly button, and just hold this for 3 breaths, in and out, and in and out. One more, in and out. And then rocking towards the tailbone, holding this position, breathing in and out, and in and out, and in and out, and back to your neutral spine. From here, we're going to play with side to side rocking. So we're going to think about it almost like a soup bowl, like a really wide soup bowl with just about maybe an inch of soup in it. So we're thinking just about tipping that bowl slightly, and it's not a huge shift, but you feel and you see the change of weight, the change, the displacement of that product. So it all goes to one side and then it all goes to the other side. So you're really just thinking about pouring that soup just into one hip and then into the other. There's not a huge change in your pelvis, but you can really feel the difference in weight distribution into each hip. And just breathing even here. We don't need to inhale or exhale in a specific pattern. Just making sure that you're still breathing. And then around in a circle, down towards the tailbone, over to one side, up towards the belly button, and over. Keeping that circle going, still envisioning that soup a little bit. So like you're swirling it in a bowl, or like you're swirling just barely the last little bit of a glass of wine. You're seeing the displacement of that liquid. And reverse. And back to center. All right, we are going to start some bridging. So inhaling, rocking the pelvis towards the tailbone, exhaling, rocking the pelvis towards you, and rolling up through the spine. Finding that hip extension, breathing in at the top, and exhaling to roll down. Inhaling at the bottom, and another exhale to roll up. Couple more on your own timing. Really focusing on feeling the separation of each vertebra from the ground and then the meeting of each vertebra with the ground. All the way down. All right, you're going to walk your feet in together just a little bit. We're going to do another bridge, and we're going to practice some single leg work. So say hello to your hamstrings. Good morning, hamstrings. Here we go. Exhale, inhaling at the bottom and exhaling to roll all the way up through the spine. Finding level hips here, and then you're going to bring your right foot to your left knee. Extend up, bend to the knee, extend, bend, extend, bend, extend, bend, extend. Lift the hips up an inch, lower, up, lower, up, lower, up, lower, up. Keep them up, bend to the knee, place the foot down, roll all the way down. And on the other side, inhaling at the bottom and exhaling to roll all the way up. Finding level hips here, placing that left foot at the right knee, extend and bend, extend and bend, extend and bend, extend and bend. Extend and hold, lift up and down, up and down, up, down, up, down, up and hold. Foot to the knee, foot on the ground, roll down through the spine. Good. Go ahead and straighten the legs, rock in and out, in and out, in and out, in and out. And then bring them back up, placing those feet on the floor. And we're gonna try with just one leg rolling all the way up. So you're gonna lift that leg to about 90 degrees or a little lower, whatever's comfortable for you. Pointing the toe, and then you're gonna rock the pelvis toward the tailbone, inhaling, and toward you, exhaling, rolling all the way up through the spine and lower. And again. One more on this side. Good. And then switch legs. Left leg up, wherever it's comfortable for you. Pointing the toe, rocking the pelvis towards the tailbone, and up. And toward the tailbone, and up. And last one. All the way down. From here, we're just going to take a little hamstring stretch after the work on those hamstrings. So extending one leg up to the ceiling, interlace your fingers behind that thigh, flex the foot, and we're just going to roll the ankle here. And you can rock your head side to side, loosening the neck, making sure you're not holding too much tension. And reverse the direction of that circle. And now you're going to circle at the knee. So just making circles, holding onto your thigh, getting some movement in all directions of your knee, and reverse that circle. And then extend your left leg long. Stretch that right leg even more, and just try and pull that leg into you a little bit more. And press the toes, point the toes. Press the toes, flex. Press the toes, point the toes. Press the toes, flex. Press, point, press, flex, press, point, press, flex, press, point, press, flex. Keeping the leg flexed. Go ahead and lower all the way to the ground. Just before you touch the ground, you're going to point and lift up. Lower, flexed, point and lift. Lower, flex, point and lift. Lower, flex, point and lift. Lower, flex, point, lift, down, the foot on the ground. We'll switch legs now. So extending your other leg. This is my left leg up. And we're just going to start circling that ankle. You're probably going to feel a significant difference maybe between the flexibility of your hamstrings, each hamstring. It's perfectly okay. I think we all feel pretty much in that same boat. Nobody's perfectly symmetrical. And then we'll reverse the circle. Really making sure you're breathing as we're doing this. And then circling at the knee. Circle. All the way in, all the way out. Really trying to get as much motion in that lower leg as you can. And reverse. One more here. Go ahead, straighten that leg. Try to pull it even a little closer, even if it's minute, that's okay. Flex, press the toes, point. Press the toes, flex. Press the toes, point. Press, flex, press, point. Press, flex, press, point. Press, flex, press, point. Press, flex, press, point. Press and flex. Hold the flex here. Release your hands. Oh, we forgot to straighten out the leg. We'll just hold for 1 second here so we get that little hip stretch. And then keep that foot flexed, hands to the ground. You're going to lower with a flex foot, point and kick up. Lower flex, point, kick. Lower flex, point, kick. Lower flex, point, kick. Lower flex, point, kick. Lower flex. Good. And just here, before we move on, feeling the length of our hips, feeling the length of our hamstrings, feeling the length of our back now. All that work we did, the bridging, the stretching. So we have a lot of length now. We want to start to open up our chest now. So with a little bit of energy in the legs, don't need to have them super straight, but I like to keep my toes pointed just so I have a little noticeable energy going on. You're going to lift, you're going to float your hands just up off the ground, 1 to 2 inches. And we're just going to breathe here, maintaining our alignment. It's going to take a lot more core work than you think. Just breathing, maintaining those contact points. And then we're going to start to make snow angels with the palms facing the ground. So this is working our shoulder rotation. You may not be able to get your arms up as high as you normally can on the mat for this. But that's okay. We're trying to stretch out those shoulders. And then go ahead and flip the palms. Keep them at the same height. We'll do the same thing. Opening all the way up overhead now. And down, and then one more all the way up and hold here. Feeling the weight of your hands into the ground, stretching out the shoulders. And then have your palms face each other and just lift the arms up overhead and back over. Up over the face and back over the head. Up over the face and back over the head. Keep going. Resting the arms all the way down on the ground, finally, and then bringing them back by your sides. From here, I'm going to have you put your left foot on the ground. Take your right foot in your hand. Your knee can be bent here. And we're just going to find a little bit of hip flexion. So we're going to mobilize our hips a little bit here. Extending the left arm and leg long. We're going to, without using momentum at all, we're going to try to move everything to the left side, rolling onto the left side. The foot taps the ground, and then we move everything up to center and over to the right side. Trying not to fall. And up to center. And over to the left. And up to center. And over to the right. Keep going at your own pace, just trying to find the mobility and the core stability to support that movement. And back up to center, and we'll switch legs. So, left hand on the outside of the left foot, knee is bent, right leg is long, right arm is long. We're rocking over to the left side and over to the right side. And over to the left. Over to the right. Last one here. All the way up to center. And extending long, feeling the length we now have in the shoulders, the hips, the legs, and the torso. And then we'll roll to one side. As we roll over, go ahead, take a sip of water. Make sure you're staying hydrated. Here we go. So I'll start on my left here. And I'm just gonna prop my head up with my hands. I'll be on my shoulder today. We're gonna start with the legs nice and long underneath us. Hips are really stacked. Your waist is long here as well. So it's easy when we're lying on the side to kind of relax into the ground. But you wanna almost pull this top hip down and feel that curve. Just like you have a curve right here, you've got the same curve on the other side that's pulling up and away from the ground. From here, we're gonna flex the feet. You're gonna try to keep the top big toe kind of pointed toward the ground as we go here. You're lifting up and lowering down. Lifting up and lowering. Lifting and down. Lift, down. Keep going. Really trying to find that internal rotation here. Lift and down and lift and down. From here, we're going to do the opposite. So we're rotating that foot out. We're going to lift all the way up and down and lift and down and lift and down and lift and down. Keep going. Lift, down, up, down. Last one, up and down. Don't lower the leg all the way. Keep it flexed, making sure those hips are stacked. Brushing front and brushing back. Front and back. And front and back. Front and back. And front and back. And then finding that leg over the top of the other leg. We're just going to make some circles. Circle 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Reverse. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, keep the leg up. We're gonna go into the bicycle here. Really trying to get the most work out of this hip at once as we can without stopping. And reverse that bicycle. And then keeping that leg nice and long over the top of the other one. Just bringing that bottom leg up and down, 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 up and down. Hold up, release that top arm. Lift up 1 more inch, torso and legs, and lower. Last thing here, elbow on the ground. We're gonna lift up into our side plank. So feet nice and flexed. I'm keeping an eye on the time, and we're gonna lift up and hold. Keeping your breath going. Keep holding, hold, hold, hold. Go ahead and move your neck around. Make sure you're not too tense. Do some little head circles, other direction. Some wrist circles, other direction. We're almost there. And lower back down. Good. Before we go to the second side, let's just go ahead and take a little hip stretch. So right leg, right ankle over your left knee, pulling that thigh towards you. And just breathing here. And then you can release the leg. Take 1 sip of water. And then move to the second side. Okay. Laying down on your right side now. Up on your elbow. Or rather, yeah, on your elbow, on your shoulder. Head in your hand. That's what we're worried about here. So lengthening those legs nice and long. Straight knees, stacked hips. Hand can be in front of you. We're gonna start lifting and lowering that top leg, trying to keep it somewhat internally rotated. So trying to keep that big toe toward the ground. So up and down, and up and down, up and down, and up and down. Keep going. Down, up, down. Up and down. Now the opposite. So turning out that top leg, lifting up and down, up and up and up and down, up and down. Keep going. One more, up, all the way down, just a hip height. Turn back to parallel, kicking forward, rushing back. Kicking forward, rushing back. Really trying to find the edge of how far forward you can go and how far back you can go. forward and back, and then forward and just over the leg, over the other leg, and we'll do circles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Reverse. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and hold. And then into the bicycle. And go ahead and reverse. Last one. Hold that top leg over the bottom. Lift the bottom leg up and down. 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 Up and hold. Release the left arm. Try and balance here. Ooh, it's hard. Lift everything up 1 more inch. And all the way down. Good. Now side plank. Here we go. Go ahead, come onto your elbow. Find a good angle for your shoulder here. You don't want to be all the way to the side. You don't want to be all the way forward. You want to find that place where you can send your shoulder blade down your back and then lift up. All righty, here we go, everybody. Feet are nice and flexed. Knees are nice and long. Torso nice and long. And lift up. Keep holding. Circle that head. Another direction. Circle the wrist. Couple more seconds here. And all the way down. Rolling to your back, doing our little hip stretch here. So left ankle over the right knee, grabbing that right thigh and pulling it towards you. Really stretching out that hip. And then we'll extend our legs long. Staying on your back, we're going to move into the roll up. So finding length through your knees, through your hips, through your torso, extending the arms right over your face. We're going to extend over our head and we're going to nod the chin. Start breathing out and start rolling up through the spine all the way to the top. From here, we're going to just extend up and forward over the legs, getting a little hamstring stretch. Back up and roll down. Arms overhead and again. All the way up and over and forward. And up and back. And pause here. 1 breath in, 1 breath out. Keep going. Pause here. Keep going. Pause here. And all the way down. Good. And again. All the way up. Extending over and forward. Up to a straight back. Rolling down 1 inch. Breathing. And another. And another. And another. And another. And another. And another. And all the way down. One more just like that. And up. And forward. And back up. Now rolling down one segment, taking a breath all the way down. I'm not going to talk this time. We'll just do it together. And go. And all the way down. And then all the way back up, and we'll stay there. All right. Go ahead, just extend up and over those hamstrings, finding length in the back, finding length in your spine, finding length in the hamstrings as we stretch. You can take the feet, you can rest your palms by the side of your legs as well. From here, we'll roll up to sitting, and then we'll start using that spine mobility. So we're gonna take the feet, we're gonna bend the knees, open them out to the sides. We're gonna take the feet in our hands, and we're just gonna lift them up off the ground slightly. You can either have your hands over like this, or you can have them under the heels in the arch here. And we're just gonna stay here for a little bit, just finding the balance, finding your core. And then you're gonna make sure you've got a nice rounded back. Sometimes I think it helps if you really attach your arms to your legs and then pull back, almost like you're going into a roll down. So getting that spinal curve going, and we're just gonna try to roll back and then roll back up, okay? Roll back to the shoulders, roll up to sitting. Woo, didn't make that one quite. Back to your shoulders, back up to sitting. Back to your shoulders, back up to sitting. Sometimes it takes a couple to find that balance and core alignment. Really trying to find your balance each time you roll back and each time you come up. Roll back and balance. Roll up and balance. Roll back and balance. Roll up and balance. Okay, we're gonna add in a tap. Next thing, you're gonna roll back, tap twice, roll up, tap twice with the toes. Roll back, tap twice, roll up, tap twice. Roll back, tap twice, roll up, tap twice. And back, tap, and up, tap, and back, tap, and up, tap. Keep going on your own timing. Really trying to facilitate your balance in this rocking by curving the spine. Whew. And up, tap, and back, tap, and up, and hold here. Go ahead, release the legs, release the arms, straighten the legs out in front, and lower them down to the ground. Good. From here, we'll take hands and knees. I'm gonna face the other direction actually. So hands and knees here. we're just going to play with our back a little bit. So we're just going to start extending the tailbone and the top of the head, and then curving the back and extending and curving and extend and curve and extend and curve. Finding your neutral spine again, and then just rocking side to side. So head and tail together, other side, head and tail together, head and tail together, head and tail together, head and tail together, head and tail together. Back to your neutral spine. From here, walking the knees in slightly, you're going to lift your left leg up, trying to keep those hips level with a flexed foot. We're going to lift up, 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 up. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Then all the way down, all the way up, all the way down, all the way up. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Go ahead, keep that leg up. We're going to extend it long, and we're just going to open to turn out, close, open, close, turn out, turn in, turn out, turn in, turn out, turn in. Bend that leg back, open the knee, close the knee, open, close, open, close, open, close, open, close, open, close, and hold. And then release that leg back to the ground and switch legs. Lifting all the way up, hips level, and pulls up. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All the way down and up, down and up. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and hold. Straightening that leg out. Remember, rotating the knee out and in, out, in, out, in, out, in, out, in, out, in. Bend that knee and opening, closing, opening, closing, opening, closing, opening, closing, and back down. Open to a child's pose and stretch back, relaxing your wrists, rolling them if you need, or just stretching back, resting your back. And then from here, we'll just play with our back to finish. So lowering all the way down to the ground. Just before we start this, reminder, grab your water, take another little sip. Here we go. So, hands right under your forehead, and we just want to find our length here. So imagining that those 3 contact points have something to touch, finding the alignment, finding your breath, finding that little core engagement. And we're just going to start by pressing the palms into the ground and lifting the head up and lowering back down. And lift and lower. Lift and lower. Going at your own pace, really trying to isolate this movement into your neck and your upper back. And now try to keep your hands attached to your forehead as you lift. So you may not lift as high or as easily, but try and keep that same idea going. So palms, back of your palms against your forehead and lifting up and down and up and down, up, down, and up and down. Keep going at your own pace. Up and hold, extend the arms out, lower down. All right, palms by your shoulders into the swan. So pretending like you've got some kind of ball underneath your nose that you're rolling forward and then opening your chest, opening up, pressing up, and lowering back down. And again, rolling up. And down. At your own pace here. Okay, this next one, we're gonna roll up and hold. Here we go. All the way up, hold at the top, just look side to side. Back to center, roll down nice and slow. We'll do one more just like that. And up. All the way up, looking side to side. Center and rolling all the way down. Okay, back up to sitting. One last exercise. And this one you can actually take home with you. So if you have a wall near you, I'll show you to the front and then I'll show you to the side so you can see what's going on with my back. We're just gonna practice a little spine stretch. So extending your arms out in front of you, you're gonna try to extend your spine forward and have each vertebra leave the wall, stretching forward, keeping that tummy engaged, and then still keeping that engagement, roll up and against the wall, finding all those vertebrae against the wall. So it almost looks a little bit like a roll up, but it's just stretching your spine and working the mobility between all the vertebrae. So arms extended forward, you're stretching kind of forward and away from the wall, keeping that scoop in the belly. And then anchoring back against the wall, stacking back up. So I want you to take that home with you. Try doing it once a day, once in the morning when you wake up or once at night before you go to bed. Either is good to keep a little focus. And let's see where your spine's at next week. Through the holidays and everything, keeping that mobility is ever important. So enjoy your week, everybody, and I will see you next time. Bye, guys.